Hi everybody, this is Josh with Josh Wright Piano TV. Happy to be here with you today. Today I'm going to talk about a concept that means a lot to me. It has been given to me by each of my three teachers that I've had in my life, primarily Susan Duhlmeyer, and then Sergei Babayan and Logan Skelton. All brilliant teachers in their own respects. And this is something that I feel personally very responsible to share with people because it's something that can change your life, and it's something that can really provide meaning in your life, unlike any other things. Music has a particular way of speaking to people, and there's a quote hanging downstairs in our school here that says something to this effect. It says, art is one of those things that you can't push a button for. It really requires you to sit down and burn the midnight oil, so it's something that takes so much work to produce, but once you have it, no one can take it. It's not like a bank account where money goes in and out. It's not like your material possessions. Someone can come and rob you of those, or they decay over time. Talent is something that continuously can be built upon. It's something that is tangible, that you can feel and possess, and it's yours. No one can take that from you. Similarly, no one can give it to you either. You have to really do the work. But along the way, there's certainly aspects of inspiration that I want to share with each of you. So today's video is all about finding inspiration in simple things in music. One of the things that we have to do is we have to find respect in every part of our work that we do. If we don't respect the piece we're playing, we're obviously not going to enjoy it very much. A lot of my lessons, especially with younger children, maybe between the age of 10 and 15, is lost because they're so distracted. That's a time in their lives that they're really doing so many activities that it's easy to get lost, and practicing becomes frantic, and they make very little progress because they're not practicing the right way. I recently posted a video on efficient practice that I would refer you to that for specific tips on how to practice efficiently, but today it's all about finding inspiration within your practice. So let's just dig right in. The thing that I'm amazed at is if you go to a site like imslp.org, like imslp.org. It's this international music library collection that features free sheet music for any of you of all of your standard repertoire. It's not often the very best music, but it's there as a resource for each of you. So if you want to learn a piece, you can start with that and then upgrade to a nicer edition once you start getting into the details of everything. There are hundreds and thousands of composers listed on that website. So you go to the M section and there's 500. I don't know exactly how many, but there's so many. And how many do we know? Okay, to the common public there would be one, like people who aren't musicians that just don't have an interest in classical music. They'd say Mozart. Okay, we know Mendelssohn, Mussorgsky. Okay, we could keep listing off some, Medtner, but out of those hundreds of composers, we only know a handful of names. We are really studying the greatest of the great compositions. Mozart wasn't just another guy. Mendelssohn wasn't just another guy. They were the best of the best. So you have quality compositions that were composed during those times that are not known by anyone, maybe except a few scholars. So digging through, when a student says to me, I don't like Bach, I can kind of relate to that because when I was younger, sometimes playing Bach wasn't always that fun, and it was tiring and it was so complicated. But now I think, oh, that's criminal to say that because it's so beautiful. Let's just look at Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring. This is a popular piece, is why I picked it. But we're just going to take a G major chord. Anybody could sit and pluck that out, but how many of the millions and billions of people that have ever lived on the earth could actually do this to it? I'm going to go slow because I don't personally know this piece, I just pulled it out, but... How us so innocent. And I'll tell you, if you don't have respect for Bach, take a counterpoint class. I'm in my doctoral program right now, and I'm taking a counterpoint class where we have to write our own chorale preludes. It is really difficult. You get inspiration. Mendelssohn, who worshipped Bach, wrote these serious variations, which I absolutely adore. These are so amazing. Among my favorite compositions I've ever played. Are those. But if you say that you've been playing this piece and you're bored for a while, or you've been bored with it for a while, and you've worked so hard to get that, and you're trying to bridge the gap between that and this, and trying to get those inflections, and you're not sure where to do it. One of my teachers one time told me that you have to imagine that the piece is a beautiful Chopin nocturne. Nobody can ever argue with how beautiful the Chopin nocturnes are. Okay, so let's imagine that this little part is a Chopin nocturne. Okay, I'm making it overly romantic. Even with Bach, you can do the same thing. Let me go back to this that we did. Okay, we're overly romanticizing so that we can fill every little thing. Take a child's piece, for instance. Kabalevsky, I believe it's Kabalevsky's Toccatino. It's in a book called Easy Classics to Moderates that I often teach younger children. So many children bring it to me. No, I say, imagine being chased at night. You have to put an image to it. Okay, now let's make it into a Chopin nocturne. Students have hated their pieces, and then when I do this, particularly the Bach D minor prelude, I say, this is like a jazz piece. You can, and suddenly they say, oh my gosh, I want to play it that way. You don't actually want to play it that way. But what this does, this exercise of turning something into a nocturne, it exposes where the places you can take a tiny bit of breath or time, or where you can grow or where you can die. So we're not going to play Bach like this. Because we've done that, we know now where we can take those little inflections because we've really felt it. It has provided inspiration for us because we've gone slow and felt every note. You have to feel every note. If you're playing something like that, if you're playing a very just technical piece, don't just play this. Feel. Feel every note on a more technical and brash level. Don't play this. Play. not going to do, that was super sloppy. We're not going to do that on everything, but it's going to give us a little bit of direction. So now when we go back to this, when we go back to this, when we go back to this, we have an idea of where we can shape these things, where the line is leading, and we can find that inspiration that we seek in the piece. Suddenly it becomes more enjoyable. Make something beautiful to you. Make something that means something to you. If the piece that you're working on, first of all, I don't believe in working on a lot of things that you hate working on. I think that you should discuss with your teacher getting on repertoire that you actually like. But if your teacher assigns you something for a purpose of helping you develop technique, for instance, you can find beauty in it, and you can find something that really touches you if you go slow and you find something. One time I just got totally chewed out by a judge at a competition. I was only 17, and she just tore me apart. But she said something that will always stick with me. She said, I knew this English actor, and he went in for a play audition, and to get the part of the play, he had to play this horrible part that he hated the script to, but he really was trying to get going in his career. So what he did is he found one word. He found the word simple, and he said he put so much meaning into that one word simple that it became a part of him, and he loved it. And then he built around the script out from that word simple, and he said that was his central focus, and then the whole script evolved around that one word, and pretty soon he loved the entire script. He grew to love the character, he grew to love the part. Same thing with what you're playing. Find a part that is particularly touching to you, and then build out from there and find inspiration in every little note. These composers, again, I can't stress enough, they're the greatest of the great composers. The ones that we all usually study from. We don't study some obscure composer that we just can't stand their music. We study the music of Beethoven, Bach, Brahms, Chopin, Tchaikovsky, Liszt, all of these amazing composers that really don't need any of our praises anyway, but we just continue to praise them because they're so brilliant. You can find inspiration in them. Do that silly little exercise about turning something into a nocturne and try it, and see if it works for you too. It always provides inspiration for me and shows me places where I can inflect the line and make something more of it than I had seen before. Also, that kind of practice helps you catch wrong notes, helps you fix your counting. It's beneficial in a myriad of ways. So I hope this video has been helpful and inspirational. I'm just so grateful for all of your support, and I hope this TV series is providing answers for you. If you have any questions at all, please email me. My email is josh@joshwrightpiano.com. Also, I'm auditioning students for my online studio. If you're interested in online private lessons with my wife or I, my email is josh@joshwrightpiano.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.